It's not the top 4 best or the top 4 worst. It's the top 4 best or worst Christmas specials in no particular order. This is just me piling 4 short reviews together. While you're watching this, check out my Christmas playlist in the description. It's loaded with holiday reviews, commercials, songs, and top 10s. It's juice and jam time. A merry Mirthworm Christmas. Never heard of the Mirthworms? Don't worry, they were only ever in this and a Halloween special, likely a failed toy franchise from 1984. The word quaint comes to mind when watching this. It's such a basic special. In a society of worms, this worm Bert is hated for being so clumsy, like the plot of a billion other stories. Bert goes home to cry, and the town learns to appreciate him. That's the whole story. I'm sad. They're sad. Problem solved. End of special. But there's a melancholy warmness about it. Not warmness, I didn't say warmness. For a bunch of voice actors who don't have much else in their IMDb credit, things got pretty emotional. And the one song featured has Bert going home to sing about how hard he's tried to fit in.
At least no one can say I didn't try. I gave it all I had. Now what's left is just goodbye.
This is called a Mirthworm Christmas. By definition, mirth means amusement, especially as expressed in laughter. From the tone of this song, if the worm decided to off himself, I would not be surprised. And this song sounds eerily close to Evangelion's Come Susser Todd, don't you think?
So with sadness in my heart, feel the best thing I could do is end it all and leave forever.
Or maybe that's just me. From what I'm told by the credits, only 2 people animated this. That cannot be right. No way, there is no overseas animation credited, so either none were involved, or 2 people really did animate this in 1984. Maybe it is true. Maybe this was just a passion project / toy line that just never took off. I recommend looking for its VHS if you want an emo Christmas special. It just radiates a warm feeling.
Then at least no one can say I didn't try.
It's Christmas in the city. There's snow all around.
You better warn a brother, cause this is a BooCrew Christmas created by the Wayans brothers, already a mark of quality.
Yo!
There's 2 of these specials that aired on Nicktoons Network. The first one, A Thugaboo Sneaker Madness, is so baffling that it deserves its own video someday. Until that day, here's the 2007 Christmas special, A BooCrew Christmas. They changed the Thugaboo brand name into BooCrew, I assume, since it was too scary for the honkies. Imagine this as Charlie Brown with attitude, of kids living in the city and during the Christmas season. It's got so much attitude they even got a record scratch transition. It's a more down-to-earth special that admittedly got a little too real. You'll see what I mean later. The cast is filled with so many characters that I lose track of how many kids are in this crew. Randomly, new ones pop up. The leader of the crew, D-Rock, of course, wants to be a famous rapper. Oh, please no.
I'm building a snowman.
No. D-Rock is not as bad as this old dirty bastard in the crew. I know he's a riff on Pigpen, but Jesus Christ, I'd hose him down, but that'd be a hate crime.
Don't hate on my little girl. It'll make you sour. Yeah.
Ew, Dirty. How can anybody have a white Christmas with you around?
The fuck is that supposed to mean? The main characters don't stop there. You got every ethnicity here. You got this kid who lost his arm in Vietnam, Dejanay from the Proud Family, Eminem, a talking dog, a Chinese girl who doesn't know how to use an abacus, my Mexican representation who's 16 and pregnant.
It's his first time meeting Santa. I hope he's old enough to understand.
Who are you fooling? Baby Louise is so old, he knew the little drummer boy when he was just taking lessons.
That joke doesn't work because all these kids look like adults and the adults look like kids wearing their parents' clothing. And for the last member of the crew, you got this kid named Slim.
Why you hating on Santa like that? Who you think makes all those cool Christmas toys for us?
I recall people claiming Jar Jar Binks was a racist stereotype, and I never understood what they meant until I saw this character. Now it all makes sense. Together, this gang of 83 fucking characters goes to the mall together to see Santa, but somebody cut in line in front of them. It's time for the main kid, D-Rock, to stand up for his friends. Who's the kid who dares cut in line? Oh no.
I hear you gonna kick my butt.
I didn't say I would kick your butt. I said we should let that nice kid cut.
Are you calling me a liar? Because I don't like lies. My mama lied to me about the tooth fairy, so I knocked out all my teeth.
Originally, I was gonna edit in the audio from the prison shower scene in the Boondocks, but the actual BooCrew audio on its own was already messed up enough. And I knew I recognized that voice. It's Charlie Murphy, who was Ed Wunsler III on the Boondocks. Charlie here gets so pissed, he punches the skeleton out of Thugaboo's body, leading to this surreal-ass scene.
Mama! This boy made me punch his flesh off, Mama.
Later, big bro.
I want to ask the Wayans brothers why they felt we needed to see that. Did that benefit humanity in any way? No, it did not. That was not acceptable. The rest of the special is mostly random tangents. What little focus there is follows the crew wanting to help this unfortunate kid who time warped here from the Great Depression. They witness Oliver Titty Twister here being bullied by a lawsuit waiting to happen. It's those bullies from the Christmas Story. Refusing to get trapped in a 24-hour TBS marathon, D-Rock stands up to the bullies by playing a card game, I think that's what it is.
Oh, so you want to play the Duddens, huh? Your head's so big, I can see what you're thinking.
While editing this video, I found out this card game is real and it's called The Dozens, which is created by the Wayans brothers. All it is are yo mama jokes in card form. Of course it is. And of course, it's time to duel and there's no backing down.
Yeah, freckly face? Your teeth so dirty, your braces got cavities on them. Yeah.
How could I have lost to him? Kaiba, if you truly want to know, open your mind!
Come on, let's go.
It was your joke.
Thanks for helping, you guys.
So that's how things are handled in the streets. That explains a lot. To this day, we still don't know who summoned Exodia on both Biggie and Tupac. The BooCrew and the orphan boy go their separate ways onto more pointless tangents, and whoa! These kids just got some extra Tims lying around. Hook me up, yo! No time for that, as the crew decided to go sledding in the most intense downhill jam since Pro Skater 1.
Ride jingling, baby.
My sneakers is scuffed.
Don't worry, we have some extra Tims back home.
What do you mean we're not going to have Christmas this year?
Well, ain't that convenient. Their sled crashes right in front of that poor boy's house, just in time to see his parents deliver some bad news.
Well, son, I just don't think Santa's going to come because your father didn't,
Give Santa our new address when we moved, and he doesn't know where to find us. Right, honey?
Right, honey?
Ow, man. You know, I just wanted to make fun of this special, but now things got too real. Jeez, this special acknowledges Santa ain't gonna help you here, kid. You're on your own. God. As weird as this special is, it is pretty ballsy at times. The BooCrew sympathize with the family, and while the family is away, the crew sneak in and leave their own presents under the tree. Oh, of course these kids know how to break into a house. Later, the family comes back to find all the presents left for them. It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a bean pie, a kufi, and an afro pick. Right on!
Okay, I understand sharing the Kwanzaa spirit, but that Afro pick is way too much power for that kid. Maybe start slow, give him a Spike Lee movie first. The kids start to sing carols, and then they go home to open up their own presents. D-Rock gets a bootleg Transformer, but what did his sibling get?
A gossiping diary? Oh, and a cute little baby doll thing.
Yay, it's the exact same thing she's already wearing. Nice going, prop designers. That was sweet, but that's really all that happens in this 20-minute special. The rest are random segments that fill up space, like this cutaway that goes on for almost 1 minute of D-Rock listening to God talk about nothing.
Of course there's a Santa. Who you think got me these sandals and got my son those $150 pair of sneakers he wanted?
If you haven't noticed yet, D-Rock's body is in far lower resolution than his head. It's actually recycled footage from the previous Thugaboo special. A lot of the jokes are callbacks. This whole series is odd. It's both terrible and amazing, and I want more of it. It feels like the Waynes wrote something for kids, but really wanted to amuse themselves and see what weird stuff they were allowed to put in. I was gonna hate on Thugaboo and its terrible lip syncing, but there's something surreal about it that I appreciate. Oh, and it ends on a rap song, of course.
It took for someone else to have nothing for me to learn something.
No.
We'll return to a Cartoon Network Christmas. Season's greetings.
I'm thankful Thanksgiving comes around in the fall, but I've always loved Christmas, the best of them all.
Ah, here's a classic that used to air on Cartoon Network annually. It's not the Reindeer, it's 1999's Olive the Other Reindeer. Not to be confused with Oh Face the Ovulating Reindeer, that's something different. Olive is produced by Simpsons creator Matt Groening of all people, and shares some DNA with The Simpsons and Futurama, reusing some writers, voices, and style of humor at times, but Olive originated as a book written by Vivian Walsh. While the book cuts to the chase of Olive being a dog posing as a reindeer, the TV special is the untold origin story expanding on the book. It's about Santa being low on time and announcing he needs the help from all of the other reindeer. Olive, this dog here, believes she's a reindeer and they need her, for she is Olive the Other Reindeer.
Did Santa just say Olive, the other reindeer?
He said maybe we'll make do with all of the other reindeer. You silly flea.
No, he said Olive, the other reindeer. I heard him. Santa needs you to be the replacement reindeer.
That's crazy.
So, because of this play on words and the lack of shock therapy, it becomes a race to the North Pole. I want that dog to sit on my South Pole. It's intended for families, but the setting does have a bit of a cynical worldview. Similar to more adult cartoons, a few of the characters are a bit on the shady side, like Martini, Olive's friend, who is hated by the cops and sells bootleg Rolexes.
Are you selling counterfeit watches again? I warned you,
First of all, they're real Rolexes. Second, I was giving them as a Christmas gift to my dear old friend Olive. Right, Olive?
In any other kids' cartoon, guys like this would solely exist to screw over the main character or act as a PSA about trust issues, but they're treated as regular people with some vices on the side. That's some depth we need more of. They get extra points for Martini being voiced by Joe Pantoliano. They casted him in a role and his character did not screw anyone over. Incredible. Wow. Amazing. Beautiful. Fuck you, Teddy. While that cynical side is there, the overall tone is so perky you can't resist Olive's need to be helpful. But if we're talking adversaries, there is this nameless postman who shares the voice of Homer Simpson, Dan Castellaneta, Sympathy of the Night. This villain is a mailman so fed up with all the extra mail he has to deliver during Christmas that he wants to stop Olive.
Christmas, bah, bug and hum.
This was 1999, so I hope he's happy now that the postal service is a dying industry. Anyway, not quite as big of a D-bag is Olive's owner, Tim. His few bits of screen time are wasted on him scolding Olive for not acting enough like a dog, which is the reason Olive believes she's a reindeer.
Chase any cars or cats?
Afraid not.
Did you even make a token attempt to tear up any flower beds?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, well, get with the program, Olive, and start acting like a dog.
Well, excuse Olive for not fitting into stereotypes, Tim. Tim's the type of guy who would ask a Chinese person failing a class why aren't they good at math. But he's just frustrated and doesn't intend to hurt Olive. Once again, had this been any other story, a character like this would have easily been written off as an irredeemable person. But I don't get the relationship. Tim and Olive sound like a married couple arguing. Is that true? What do you all think? They fugging or what?
I'm sorry, Tim. Let's not fight at Christmas.
There's no Christmas this year.
What's odd about the special is despite looking like cardboard cutouts, the backgrounds as well as the characters are all CG and done by DNA Productions before Jimmy Neutron premiered.
Hi, I'm Paul.
If this was made today, it likely would have been done far easier using Flash animation. You gotta respect how they stuck with the book's flat stylization rather than capitalize on the rise of 3D at the time. It holds up really well and reminds me of Parappa the Rapper. You wanna know how bad they could have looked in true 3D? Here's a photo of a rare Olive figurine. Let's never see that again. Both in story and visuals, Olive the Other Reindeer still holds up. Give it a watch.
I don't have antlers, I don't have hooves. How flying works, I have no clue.
Here at the top of the world, Santa and his elves work to fulfill the Christmas wishes of millions of children all over the world.
Get ready to suffer. This here is what we call reverse loss media. The Christmas lights from 1995 is a piece of media we have, but we don't know who or why anyone made it. The only name in the credit worth noting is Dan Haggerty, the star of Grizzly Adams, a TV show your parents will probably recognize. Honestly, I'm getting old. A TV show your grandparents will recognize.
They call me Mad Jack. And if there's anybody in these mountains that knows the real story of James Adams, that'd be me.
But the crazy thing is, he's listed in the credits, but this film is nowhere on his IMDb. Try looking up The Christmas Light in 1995. It's difficult to go beyond search results for actual Christmas lights. The only video of it on YouTube for the special has 9 views, and you're probably wondering, how did I find it? I have my ways. According to one of my fans who owns a VHS tape of this, the official synopsis reads, if you love Toy Story, you'll love the Christmas lights. So likely it was an attempt to cash in on the booming hype of CGI. Now, there is another name in the credits worth looking into, Michael DeVito. Whether this person is related to Danny DeVito or not, I cannot find. But I did find Danny DeVito's birth name was Daniel Michael DeVito Jr. Could Michael DeVito be an alias he goes by on the side to make cheap cartoon cash-ins? Doubt it, but I want to believe. It would make for a good Sunny in Philadelphia episode. Unlike other seasonal specials, the Christmas Light has its own interpretation of the North Pole, resembling the Washington Monument. At the very top is where you'll find Santa in his office, looking over my YouTube analytics. It looks like I'll be eating from the value menu tonight. Santa then checks up on the one and only elf the animators bothered to render when he's interrupted.
Santa! Santa! Report to my lab immediately!
Surprise! The animators worked overtime to render a third character. Impressive. He looks like a Best Buy employee. Here in this lab, they meet Burden Lemon, an employee that is hated by all the other elves. Why is he hated? The narrator just says so.
The other elves don't like Lemon. Some dislike him more than others, but they all dislike him.
Well, Burden has his own toy-making machine he wants to pitch to Santa. Let's see what it can do. Hey, that looks pretty decent.
What the fuck?
A minor glitch.
Never mind, that train was made from gunpowder and Samsung phones. Burden still wants Santa to use this machine, but Santa refuses.
But why?
Why? Burden runs off with his dick between his ass and does the following that can either be considered a villain song or slam poetry.
You fools can't see the genius that's in me. I'll make you see. Oh, you'll finally see.
While the weather outside is frightful, his diss track is barely room temperature. At least the songs in Rhapsody Street Kids were kinda decent and sung by Belle from Beauty and the Beast. But this is just monologuing in rhymes.
No!
Oh my god.
He's gone. Burton's gone. Poor Burton.
A fellow employee just died right in front of you, and that's how you react? But right after he explodes, Burton's toy-making machine automatically creates an ice clone of him, which is shattered, and then his spirit rises, turning into a snowman with Rayman arms.
From this day on, I am no longer Burton Lemon. I am forevermore a snowman.
Okay, to recap, in the North Pole, an elf just died and was reincarnated by a machine into an evil snowman who vows to destroy Christmas. These newfound powers are working because a blizzard is raging outside. Well, I know you can't see it, but the narrator tells us it's a blizzard.
It seems the snowman had begun to work his evil magic.
This narrator exists for two reasons, either to narrate the obvious or narrate something they're unable to animate. Hey, look, Grizzly Adams is the only star on this special. They're gonna have to milk as much mileage as they can from his 10-minute recording session.
Santa, what should we do?
I am always guided by the Christmas light. It will help us now. Look for a bright light in the sky. The Christmas light is always there when I need it.
To take action, Santa and his elf head off on their spaceship. Now is the right time to be introduced to the magical ability called the Christmas light. It's what gives Santa his powers. It's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us and penetrates us, and with consent, of course.
Just then, Isaac looks up on the view screen, and he sees something.
Oh no, a QuickTime event. Boing! Whew. Santa finds one house that still believes in the Christmas light, so he asks this random girl within the house to join him on his ship. Why exactly does Santa need this little girl for? Maybe he's trying to start a Nickelodeon sitcom with an eerie amount of foot-related humor. It doesn't matter. Their ship catches up to the snowman, and so begins the final battle.
All range mode.
The snowman slowly but surely squishes his own head, forming a buzzsaw to attack the ship.
Approaching sound barrier!
Using a probe, Santa holds the snowman in place. Now is their time to strike.
Santa, say the word and X will destroy him.
No, Santa, you'll kill Burton. It's wrong.
We must, Santa. He would do it to us in a second.
Oh, apparently Santa in this interpretation has a no-kill policy all of a sudden. So now what are they gonna do with this evil creature they refuse to kill?
I say we let him go.
No! And that's exactly what they do. They let it go, and by deciding to be the better man, the snowman has a change of heart and kills Santa's spaceship.
With that, the snowman unleashes his most powerful weapon.
We're left with the ship in disrepair. While Santa and the elf try to fix it, the girl sneaks out into the blizzard for reasons unknown. She walks until she finds the villain's lair, located inside an ice vagina. An ice vagina is also the name of the genitals to any given tsundere. The girl has come to make friends with the snowman, but how'd she know he'd be here? Simple, it's the power of the Christmas light.
I will destroy you.
There's a light of goodness, even in you. The Christmas light is in us all.
Don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways. Your sad devotion to that ancient religion has not helped you conjure up the stolen data tapes.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Enough of this.
Why, you are the biggest fool of all.
The Christmas light.
Oh my God,
is
shut up.
inside you.
Ain't no way, there ain't no way.
And now they're having a freaking singing duel. Like, it's not even the same song. This is where the girl's 8 years of singing training at the William Hung a cappella dojo has caused the snowman to melt, then become a lowly condom. He's dead. You killed him. You fucking killed him. Oh, but what's this?
Up from the melted snow comes not the snowman, but Burton. Yes, Burton.
I'm back.
Now let's get going. We have a lot of work to do.
Yep, that was special, all right. Merry Christmas, every pony. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Boxing Day, and to you all. Yeah.
Olive may not be your average dog.
What?
But when Santa needs help,
Oh no!
she just might become the most extraordinary reindeer ever.
I heard Santa on the radio saying that he needed Olive, the other reindeer.
You're not a reindeer. You can't fly.
You wait and see.
Olive! Olive! Olive!
Olive the Other Reindeer, coming to save Christmas. Tomorrow night at 9, 8 Central, right here on Nickelodeon.
In a rush to find your crush? Mary-Kate and Ashley